The commercial razor clam fishery in particular is very important for the local economy. About 90% of the diggers come from or reside in Pacific or Grays Harbor County. A lot of the participants are filling time between when commercial crab season slows down and before salmon seasons, either in Alaska or locally, start to kick off. The Washington commercial fishery on the Willapa Spits accounts for about 25 to 35% of the total West Coast landings annually. Although it's a relatively small fishery, as a West Coast or a global market, Washington's got a pretty big stake in the market.
This fishery right here, this razor clam fishery, is local people, and it's a good shot in the arm for the good local economy where we have such a high unemployment rate.
It provides steady income for our local residents, processors, as well as a product that's really known nationally and internationally. So there's a huge live market for these clams in foreign countries as well as domestically.
How long have you been doing this?
Lifetime. So, long time.
It's a really old fishery in the Washington state. The fishery dates back to the turn of the last century. 1898 were the first records of commercial landings that we have. And since that time, no mechanical harvest has been allowed. So shovel or a hand-powered implement, and that keeps our bycatch really low. So it's virtually zero bycatch.
The clams are self-sustaining because we are not able to access all of them. The spits are forever changing in the Willapa. Some years you're digging in one place, next year it's underwater, you go find another place.
For the commercial fishery, we monitor in-season catch. And what we like to see is a stable catch per unit effort. So every day and every tide series that these fishermen go out, they're catching about the same amount of clams, maybe more or less depending on the tide series and weather. And we use that data as it comes in to help shape our seasons. We also monitor the catch at the processors, so we get a length frequency, and we use that to track clams per pound and health of the clams. In addition, on our two adjacent coastal beaches to the Willapa Spits, which are Long Beach and Twin Harbors, we collect a condition index sample. So this allows us to track the health of the clams and when the clams are spawning each season. And then in addition to that, we also monitor populations through our annual razor clam stock assessment. So in a year where we have a really good crab fishing season, there's a high demand for bait. And in a year where the clams that we're able to open up in April and are in really good shape, a higher amount is able to go to the human consumptive market. So we look at all those factors when we think about managing this year's season and then our next year's season as well.
Safe trip, now we gotta go sell our product.
You can find clams. I mean, one of the most popular ways for people to get them if they're unfamiliar is just to go to a restaurant and seek out clams on a menu. You'll often see razor clam chowder, fried clams in a variety of dishes. You can also look at your local markets. So for instance, here in Tokeland, there's a local market that sells fresh clams. While they're more available seasonally, some of the product does get shucked and frozen and packaged. The product is still excellent to eat in that state, and so you might see those available year-round at some of your larger retailers as well.